Hey guys, welcome back. We're working on our first major project of the year. We are going to be replacing our non-functioning whole house humidifier, which was a Honeywell, and replacing it with this, an Aprilaire 600. Aprilaire is a local company for us right here in Madison, Wisconsin. I did choose a larger system. The 600 is meant for an average home size of up to 2,500 square feet. My thought is I want a system to be able to adequately and efficiently add humidity to approximately 2,000 square feet. Now, I did specifically pick up the model with the installation kit off of Amazon. Check out the link in the description for the exact make and model that I'm installing today. Let's open it up and see what it came with. First up, we have our installation guide, which doubles as our template for installing the system, the user manual, a bag full of screws and miscellaneous bits, the humidistat, which I did not realize until installation was complete that I'm missing the cover and the knob for the dial. The humidifier. Now let's open up and see what's inside here. Inside we have a bag containing a 6-inch flexible ductwork, 3 bunches of cables, a 1/4-inch PEX tubing, connectors for the ductwork, tubing for the excess water drainage, and the filter. We'll start by removing the humidistat and the excess wiring. Then remove the old humidifier. And now what I've discovered is that the old system is a completely different size and layout than the new one we're installing. Next, I picked up a 2-foot by 3-foot sheet of galvanized sheet metal to fill in the gaps, along with some foam tape to make sure when covering the holes that they're airtight. First, we'll work on replacing the humidistat. The hole is significantly bigger. All I need is about a 1-inch hole, and I'll secure it with self-drill lathe screws. We'll get a rough estimation on size using the old humidistat, cut it using our tin snips, and secure it. Next, you can see the hole from the previous humidifier is significantly larger than what we need. So we'll measure and cut strips of galvanized sheet metal to size and then attach them the same way, filling the space so the hole is the exact same size as the template. Now everything is to size. We want the system to flip so the intake is coming out of the right side, which is pretty simple. You want to flip the drain and the top plug. They both come out with a slight twist, but the drain comes out on the inside of the system and the top plug is removed from the outside. You flip them and install the drain from the inside with a slight twist, and then install the top plug from the top the same way with a small twist. Now we're going to actually install the system. We're going to place it into the templated hole and attach it with the screws that came with the system. Next, we're going to install the filter. Then connect the water tube to the hole at the top of the filter. Now to connect the water line to the system, I attempted to use the existing copper line and was unable to get it to secure to the system, even after cutting the line and replacing some of the other components. I decided to use the PEX tubing that comes with the installation kit. I ran it through the joist, detached the copper line, and installed the PEX to the existing self-piercing saddle valve. I added the cover and turned it on. It's just too bad I didn't record the fountain that spewed from the saddle valve. So I shut off the water again and replaced the saddle valve with a brand new one that came with the installation kit. I didn't have to tap a new hole and just use the existing one from the previous valve. tightened it down, and installed the PEX. It is important to note that with the whole system, that when you tighten down the brass, you use 2 wrenches, one to tighten, the other to hold it in place. If you don't, you run the risk of breaking the connections and not having a proper seal or bending the piping. Now let's hook up our ductwork to our air intake and attach that to our humidifier. First, I'm going to use the housing to trace the hole. Then drill a small hole and cut it out using the metal shears, cutting the hole slightly bigger than the hole that we traced out. Insert the brace and bend the teeth on the inside, which will hold the duct in place. Add a little bit of aluminum duct taping, which is heat resistant, to create a seal. The secondary brace that comes with it is attached directly to the Aprilaire system. The ductwork will affix to it, and we'll use the accompanying screws to secure it to the system. The ductwork that came with the installation kit is only about 3 to 4 feet long, and it's flexible so it doesn't bridge the gap. So I went out and picked up a 6-inch by 8-foot semi-rigid duct, which easily covers the gap, and using aluminum duct tape, I secured the duct connecting the air intake to the Aprilaire system. The next installation is the humidistat. First, we need to cut a hole or drill a hole that will fit the sensor on the back of the humidistat, which is about 1 inch in diameter. I'm using a flat 1-inch drill bit to drill the hole, which I do not recommend. I would say use something with either teeth or cut a small hole and use the metal shears to cut your 1-inch hole out. Insert the sensor into the hole and secure the left side, which has a singular hole. The right side, however, has an elongated hole, which can be used to adjust the level of the humidistat. Now let's start working on our electronics. We're going to head outside and install the outdoor sensor, which needs to be set up approximately 3 to 4 feet above the ground or above the snow line. Instead of drilling a hole through the entire house, I ran the wiring through this window and secured it in the beams inside. Now, following the installation guide, we're going to start hooking up the actual electrical wiring, starting with the outdoor sensor, which hooks up the humidistat on the ODT portion, with the red on the left and the white on the right, and then we tighten everything down with a small screwdriver. Next, we want to attach the 5-wire cable to the humidistat. Working from left to right, we're going to hook up the red wire to the R, the blue wire hooks up to the C, the white wire hooks up to W, and the green wire hooks up to GF. The yellow hooks up to the thermostat control, but with the spacing and the distance, I'm not able to run this, so we're just going to leave that out. Next, we're going to connect the transformer, which brings power to the humidistat and the humidifier, using the cable with 2 wires, hooking the white wire to the left H and the red wire to the right H. After peeling the cable apart, we connect the red H wire to one of the yellow wires attached to the humidifier. Next, we're going to add another portion of red wire to the other wire attached to the humidifier, but this one's going to run down to the transformer. Now I want to clean up some of the wiring, so we're going to encase it using a 1/4-inch split wire conduit tubing. Starting at the humidistat, we're going to add all the wiring and run it all the way down to the power source. Now I'm going to attach everything to the PVC piping using zip ties and get everything out of the way. Inside we'll have the 2-wire cable and the 5-wire cable. All of the cables will split once we get down to the power source, and the 5-wire cable will actually enter the side of the furnace and get hooked up to the main board inside. Now we're going to feed it through, cut it to length, and strip the wires for installation. Now we're going to hook up the 5-wire cable to the furnace. First, hooking up the white wire to the W, inserting and installing the red wire to the R, then the green to the G, and the blue to the C. First, you need to punch out one of the slots in the electrical box. Insert the transformer and tighten down the nut. Attach the black and white wires to the corresponding wires in the electrical switch area. We want to attach it to the switch which controls the shutoff for the furnace. So with one switch we can shut off the furnace and the humidifier. We're going to attach our red and white wires to the outside of the transformer. Now let's button it all up and see if it's working. Now, like I said before, I had to reach out to Aprilaire because the humidistat did not have a faceplate. They were incredibly accommodating and sent out a replacement humidistat immediately, and I was able to complete the installation. Installing the cover and the knob. Now I have it all set up as automatic and set the humidity level to 5 to get it going and saturate the air. Once it's been running, I'll either scale it back or leave it on automatic mode, which will do it for me, which ensures the humidity corresponds to the temperature based on the program scale. And that is it. Everything is running and no leaks so far. I'll leave a link in the description to my Amazon store where you can pick up the same make and model Aprilaire whole house humidifier with the installation kit, which I recommend. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.